Cedric Maxwell Podcast is powered by Prize Picks, the exclusive daily fantasy partner of the CLNS Media Network.
Well, Gary, give us the lowdown on this whole Kendrick Perkins at the Celtics parade. What was it? Did he not get the invite? Is he out of the group text? Like, is this the Boston radio trying to stir things when they had Perk on and he was talking about he had a bone to pick with Scal, but you were there. What was going on?
Okay, so it sounded like they had an 08 duck boat.
They had an 08 boat, right? Duck boat, right?
With their trophy. Pierce came out, Eddie House. I think Cassell was on that.
Cassell was on there, yeah.
I think Leon Powe.
Leon Powe, that's the other one.
4 members of the 15 or whatever, right? And even though, and you saw, you got the great interview with Ray Allen. He went to Game 5, on the down.
Really cool moment.
He was just like, I didn't see. I was like, damn, Ray was at the game, but I think what was it? Scal, Paul, Leon, Eddie. So 5 members of the team. And I guess they asked Scal, would Perk was invited? And he's like, well, I don't think he would be invited and whatever. And, there's some tension now. There's some stuff. Because obviously the quote of him calling Missoula a bird brain, like kind of a bird brain. That was a tough quote, right? It was a very critical quote. I think it was a few months ago after they lost to Denver at home. It was like the home loss to Denver, and he went in on Missoula. Okay, so
people didn't forget. Yeah.
So Scal kind of threw in the atmosphere that there was some tension between Perk and the organization, and Perk is like, hold up. First of all, keep my name out your mouth. Secondly, it's not like I got invited or they invited the whole 08 team. I don't know how the Celtics did it. I'm sure if some members if Garnett was like, hey, I want to be on the duck boat, they would have, of course, brought him on. And I think with Pierce is in Boston a lot more than Garnett or any of the 08 team. House works for NBC Sports Boston. I know he lives in Phoenix, but I think House comes here a lot too. Scal, of course, and then Leon Powe works for the organization. So it's kind of easy. So I don't think there was some 15 invites with Rondo and Gabe Pruitt and
Scott Pollard.
Yeah, Scott Pollard got, glad Scott Pollard's doing well now. He had some medical issues. He seems coming back strong. So kudos.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Yeah. To Scott Pollard, glad he's doing a lot better. It wasn't like there was over 15 invites and then Perk was like, oh, we're writing 14, but not Perk.
Right. So Perk, it's the way he worded it though. The way Scal worded it, as if like he was.
I had a conversation with Perk, who called me and we had a conversation and Perk wasn't happy and his whole thing is, I respect the Celtics, but one, that was 24's moment, not 08's moment. I respect that too. Mm-hmm. Two, like he said, I haven't come to Boston on my own in years. I come for work or whatever. Like I'm not, I'm a former Celtic and, I love those guys, but it's not like I'm coming back every reunion and I'm coming back here for work. And I cover the league and I got to tell like it is. So I respect Perk for that. And then Scal, he was upset that Scal didn't call him back with immediacy. And Scal was like, well, I'm a busy man and my bad. And so, let's hope they can talk it out. It's petty, but, you probably shouldn't have. Scal might not have refrained from saying, oh, Perk's got issues with, do I think Missoula was upset? Yeah. Like anybody would be upset being called a bird brain and anybody would be upset with some, but Perk's been hard on, but I don't know what team Perk likes. Perk hard on everybody.
Yeah,
for real. Know what I'm saying? Like he's like, Max, we grew up, he's the dad that your father didn't like none of his kids. Like it wasn't like, like he don't like him, he don't like me. Like he's equally bad. Like, that's kind of how it is. Perk keeps it real. He said Anthony Davis might ask for a trade at the deadline if it don't work out with Redick. Like Perk drops it on the damn. He doesn't care. He's made probably some adversaries and lost some friendships because he's had to keep it real, and I respect that. And he's been hard on the Celtics this year, and he suggested they might break up the Jays a couple years ago, and but hey, a lot of people got proved wrong. And I think Perk is personally happy for those guys. I think he enjoyed his time in Boston. He was, for any place he played, he was in Boston for the longest. He won a championship. I think he had a couple of his kids in Boston. So, I think he's okay, but he's kind of like Scal. Like, first of all, bro, like, why am I on? Like, anybody call Rondo? Anybody call Ray? Like, why is it just me and I'm the one that got disinvited? Like, he said, if I got invited, I probably wouldn't have come. He got stuff to do. He lives in Texas. So he gonna come out here for one day to raise the banner in an hour parade?
Yes, he would.
You think he would?
Yeah.
If he got the invite, you think that's what it was?
I mean, let's keep it real.
Uh-oh.
It isn't summer in New England without making a trip to Fenway Park, and this year is no different thanks to Game Time. Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on Game Time app will actually go down the closer it gets to the first pitch, with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seats, and their lowest price guaranteed. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. We cannot miss out on any Sox-Yankees matchups this year, so make sure you get your tickets, man. There's nothing like it, especially in the summertime and especially at Fenway Park. Save up to 60% buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, etc. Save even more with the exclusive in-app deals on select seats ahead of the game or event. Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference because they have the lowest price guaranteed. And thanks to their Game Time ticket coverage, your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code CLNS for 20% off your first purchase. That's code CLNS. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the offer code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed.
The organization could not have been happy with some of the things that Perk said. Yeah. And I mean, look, you and I broadcasters, we always, in some way, people are tugging at you to say what you said might have been said differently. And me more than any, because they feel like I work for the organization. So if I said something, I've heard, people call me and we're going, well, you might have wanted to phrase it. I mean, I remember one of the lines I used, it was when Kevin Garnett was out. I happened to say that I was on TV, radio, and the guy said, do you think the Celtics can win when Kevin Garnett got hurt the year they won the year after they won the championship? I said, no, it's impossible. And yeah.
You said it's impossible?
Hell no.
And do you think that I got a call saying, you might want to, try to rephrase. Well, obviously I was right.
Backtrack. Yeah.
Right. But in a way that when they perceive you as part of the organization, because Perk will lay his head on the fact that, look, in 2008, we won the championship. I was on the team. So you it's kind of hard to say one way where you are saying, look, I was part of this organization. I know how great it was. But then on the other end, to kind of be overly critical about a guy like Joe Mazzulla. I can understand you said, I don't agree with what he did. I've said that before. Maybe you might want to take somebody out or do this or do that. But the bird brain thing, that would rub this organization the wrong way. I mean, people were upset when Grant Williams was in the back. They were saying Grant Williams was celebrating with the organization. And people were pissed off at Grant for him to be there at the game. They didn't say nothing about Taco, but for Grant to be there.
You can't be mad at Taco.
That's a good point, though. They both play for the squad, yeah.
Anybody say anything at all about with Taco, but they sure wanted Grant. Grant played with both teams. So I can see that he had a vested interest. He had friends who were there, and it just happened that his buddies for the Celtics won. I'm sure he had to be happy about that. Matter of fact, we had him on our podcast, And we talked about who will win the championship.
He predicted this whole thing. Yeah.
Grant predicted, kind of what would happen. But, let's not be so naive to think that maybe there wasn't something in there or where Perk was that, it's different. I just believe that, when you say something about a team, it's going to come back some way to haunt you. I mean, hell, do you think Stephen A. Smith is invited to any damn Celtic parades or anything like that? He's not being invited because some of the things he said about this organization.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it's a tricky spot, man. If you ask me, I just feel like it's one of those things where, like Perk said, it wasn't an official invite list and he was not on it. It's one of those things where if you wanted to be on the duck boat or if you want to be involved, I'm sure people put their name in it.
Let me hear this. Go ahead. You said what? If he wanted to be on the duck boat, what would happen? Let me make sure I hear what
he would have put his name in. He would have put his name in there.
And would he have been on the duck boat? I'm asking you right now.
I don't know.
No, I'm asking you. What do you think?
Celtics probably would have said no.
Okay. All right.
Right. But he wasn't going to put himself out there. But who's Scal to make himself the team ambassador to be like, I don't know if he would have been, you know what I mean? So I can see where Perk stands saying like, wait, well, who are you to make that call? I don't know.
Scal has a carte blanche with this team in different areas that most people don't. And I love Scal. I've always been his biggest admirer in the fact that you have a guy whose his career scoring or what he did for this team compared to where he's at now in the organization and see him with the big three. And he was the guy who was interviewing the players, before they came out and got on the duck boats. He's made himself into a commodity for this team. So he has I guess, luxuries that some of us might not have. But if I'm the team, I'd be thinking the same way. Look, we don't need you talking for us or even putting that out there.
Yeah, that's what you don't want.
We don't need no negativity after we just won the championship. Let's win the fucking championship and just be cool about it. We don't need.
There was enough stuff with the 08 team, with all the stuff with Ray and KG, and that got settled. And they good, and let's not bring it to where the difference between Perk and Paul does the Fox Sports stuff, but Paul is unapologetically a Celtic. I mean, the next day after they won, he wore his Celtic stuff on the air. Paul is down for Boston. He is a Celtic. Perk has felt like, I got to make a name for myself. I didn't have a great career. I had an all-star caliber career. I won a championship. I was a quality defensive big man for a decade or whatever. I got to make my name keeping it real. And I admire that because that's what's kept him on the air. He's not making no friends. He's not going to turn around and say nice things just because a guy likes him, or I'm sure he had some issues with Kevin Durant, some things said about Kevin Durant. He keeps it real. He's kept it real about the Celtics. As I said, he treats everybody the same. He rips everybody. So for him to be on,
he doesn't do that with LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, I think
that's the one.
LeBron's a little soft part.